This video is a little different because I am introducing a brand new series of videos that I am going to be putting out on my channel every week, every Friday morning, where I bring you the latest hiking news in Nahamsha. So I got the idea to do this because a few weeks ago, I put out a video where I recapped all the hiking news over Columbus Day weekend because so much happened. The overcrowding, the search and rescues, the weather. There was just a lot to say. So I made a little video on my hike where I recapped the whole thing, and you guys seem to love it. So because there's always so much happening in New Hampshire in the hiking community, I figured I could make this a weekly series where I gather up all the hiking news and I bring it to you every Friday morning before the weekend. I can give you guys some trail updates, some weather, some search and rescue stories, but I'm gonna get all into that in this video. So this is kind of just like a little intro. I want to show you all the weekly segments that I want to chat about, and I have some news for you. I would love to start each of these weekly videos with the weather conditions, the hiking conditions for the weekend. So I feel like winter's here. The last couple weeks we've had something in New Hampshire called snow leage. I feel like that's a really cool term that's new to me. I don't hear it that often, but it's when down in elevation, all the leaves have these beautiful fall foliage colors, and then in the background you can see all of the high summit mountains covered in snow. And I saw a few really cool pictures of this like circling the internet, and I got a really cool picture myself that I will show on the screen. I took this from my boat, which I feel like adds another layer because you can see the lake, the fall foliage, and then all the winter mountains covered in snow. And it's just so cool to see two seasons come together in one photo. But I feel like that's kind of in the past. Fall foliage season is basically gone because all the leaves are on the ground now. And I feel like the snow actually melted. So I guess it's like stick season.
But it's the season of the sticks.
So I want to go over the hiking forecast for this weekend. So I'm going to get this information from the Mount Washington Weather Observatory. They just put out updated weather, so I want to share it with you. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be a great hiking weekend up in the high summits above 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 feet. On Friday, it looks like Mount Washington's going to be in the clouds with a chance of snow showers in a wintry mix early. And then that's going to transition into snow showers late. There's going to be possible slow accumulations from a trace up to 2 inches. But the wind sounds crazy. The wind's going to be 70 to 85 miles an hour, and then gusts could get up to 130 miles an hour. So I would not want to be above tree line in those winds. I would not want to be exposed. That doesn't sound safe. So that's today. That's Friday. Tomorrow on Saturday, it's going to be cloudy again with a chance of wintry mix. Still very windy, winds 75 to 95 miles an hour, but it's going to start decreasing a little bit. It's going to get down to 55 to 70 and then gusts up to 80 miles an hour, which it's not as bad as today, but tomorrow definitely seems like it's going to be extremely windy up there. There is a wind chill advisory. Temps are going to feel like they're negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Up there. It's going to be complete whiteout conditions. So I'm not heading out up in the mountains this weekend. I'm actually going to be in Lincoln, New Hampshire. I'm going to do some low elevation hikes and runs and hang out in town because in town, the temps are going to be in the 40s, 50s. There might be some sun, but they're expecting clouds, a little bit of wind, and maybe some showers today. All right, that is the weather segment for this series. We're going to move on to the hiking community news. So any events going on in the New Hampshire hiking world this weekend. So there is an event that I am participating in that I'm so excited about. It's called the Rescue Me 5K. It is the 5th annual race. It is being held in Lincoln, New Hampshire, and it's a 5K that is going to support the Lakes Region Search and Rescue. So I love 5Ks, and I feel like that's so fitting for this video, a 5K that supports Lakes Region Search and Rescue efforts. So I know a couple people going. once I realized I got Saturday off from work, I signed up for this race immediately. I'm going to be jogging with the stroller with the baby, and it's going to be fun. So let me know if you are also doing that race. I will also link the race in the description if you want to check it out and sign up for yourself. I'd love to see you there. There's another event happening soon-ish that I just saw circulating on Facebook. It is Sunday, November 17th, and it's called Restoring the Ridge. And at this event, you can learn about trail improvements to the Franconia Ridge Loop that they're making. This is an event which is going to be an open house with a trail walk and an information session. So you can meet some of the trail builders, hear about how the work is done, what are the benefits and challenges of either rebuilding or relocating trails so they are more sustaining with the environment, which I find super interesting. So those are 2 events going on. Let me know if you are going to join those. So this next segment, I feel like you will find very interesting. It is the search and rescue segment. So I'm gonna go over any search and rescue stories that have happened over the last week. That way we can talk about them, we can maybe learn from them, and just understand what can happen on hikes and up in the White Mountains or just anywhere in New Hampshire. I believe the New Hampshire Fish and Game puts out press releases. That is where I got this information. I have one story to share with you today. It is not a hiker, but I do feel like there is a good lesson here that us hikers could learn from. So this story is a 75-year-old hunter, and he was hunting with his son in Wilton, New Hampshire on November 2nd, and he was hauling a deer out of the woods down, I believe, a steep hill when he slipped on leaves and hurt his head, and he was unable to walk after that. So it's great that he was with his son because his son was able to call 911. They got to him, they assisted him off the trail, and they were able to get a UTV to bring him back to the parking area most of the way, which was great. And he was able to go to the hospital. I believe everything was fine. And from what I read, the rescue team ended up carrying out the deer for him. So I feel like they didn't have to do that, but I thought that was a good addition to the story. So I did go on a hike last week, and the slippery leaves was definitely a major concern for me. I mentioned it in my last video that just the trail was super slippery, and because now I hike with a baby on my chest, I don't have great visibility of my feet, so it made me even more nervous. And then when I was also reading lots of trail conditions from over the week, most every trail condition also referenced the slippery leaves, the mud. So the conditions are tough. People were recommending trekking poles and just taking it really slow. Oh God. This video isn't even sponsored by Element. I just need to drink something because my throat's killing me. So after every search and rescue story that I share in these videos, I do want to follow it up with a hiking tip of the week segment. So that way we can learn from it, take something away, and just be safer out there on the trails. So for this week, the hiking tip is to just be mindful that it is also hunting season. So I just got these bandanas in at my gift shop, and they're all neon. So I feel like wearing neon will help you stand out from hunters and just be a little more safe. Muzzle loader season for deer started on November 2nd, and then firearm season for deer starts November 13th. They're out there, and it's a little creepy. I mean, I just went for a hike a couple hours ago, and I hear a sound in the woods, and I think it's a hunter, but it's a squirrel, so it's always top of mind. There's a good resource online that I was reading about tips for hiking during hunting season. So this next segment, let me know if you guys would be interested in it, but I'm thinking of doing a gear segment. So this could be anything from a new piece of gear that I have and I want to recommend, a new gear that just hit the market, some good deals on gear that have come up. So I don't know. I have a few notes right here that I want to share, and gear is one of my favorite topics, and I don't know, maybe we can get some good gear recommendations for you guys. So the first piece of gear that I want to talk about is actually something that I saw someone recommend on Facebook, and I checked it out for myself, and I thought it was so cool. I was so tempted to buy some for myself, but I don't need it. And it is a brand new hiking boot from Hoka. It's called the Kaha 2 Frost GTX. And it looks like everything I would want in a hiking boot. They look so comfortable. I have shoes from Hoka and I wear them around at work and for walks and I love it, but I don't have a hiking boot from them. And yeah, it just got everything that I personally would love in a hiking boot. It's got insulation, it's waterproof, it looks lightweight. It's got really good traction underneath, and I would love to try these out. It looks like it's cold weather rated up to negative 25 degrees Fahrenheit, which I personally wouldn't hike in anything colder than that, so these would work for me. And they're just like really good looking winter hiking boots. It's not like the traditional big clunky ones. So good job, Hoka. And then I want to share a couple of like really good gear deals that I saw going on currently, because I know people are getting ready for winter hiking or even getting ready for a thru hike next year. So maybe I can help you out a little bit. One, Enlightened Equipment is having their biggest sale of the year. Everything is 20% off. I feel like this doesn't happen often. Enlightened Equipment is where I get my down puffy jackets from. They're super lightweight. I have 2 down jackets from them and a down vest. It's also where I get all of my sleeping bags. I get my down booties from them. I think I had a rain jacket from them at one point. It's just really good lightweight gear. Also on REI, I found that my car camping sleeping bag is 50% off. So I have the Jazz 30 sleeping bag. This is what I take when I'm car camping, when I'm camping in my RV. Even like if I just go to someone's house and I need to bring a sleeping bag, this is what I take. So I can't believe like 50% off is such a big deal. Also, the baby carrier that I have from Osprey is 29% off. And this is actually a better deal than when I bought this baby carrier on Black Friday last year. So if you have a little baby and you want to get out and hike like I do, like Osprey I feel like is top of the line, and they have really good baby carriers. I put my daughter in hers for the first time the other week, and just she had such a big smile. She lit up. It was the cutest thing. Also, I just found this out yesterday. I'm going to go over it real quick because I don't think it applies to a ton of people. But if you have a Capital One credit card, I just realized that you can trade your points in for REI gift cards and they're 40% off. So I had enough like Capital One points to get like thousands of dollars worth of REI gift cards. I didn't do it, but if you want something from REI and you have some Capital One points, I don't know how long this is going to last, but it seems like it's an amazing deal. All right, so moving on, for this next segment, I want to have a hike of the week. And for this week's hike of the week, I actually went out on the mountain, and I'm going to tell you about it from that summit. So this week's hike of the week was an obvious choice for me. I am currently standing on Locks Hill in Guilford, New Hampshire. This is actually my 38th time doing this hike just this year, so that's why I wanted to feature it in the very first episode. This is a relatively easy hike. It's a loop about 1.8 miles. There's a little bit of elevation gain, about 450 feet, but you get 3 really good viewpoints of Lake Winnipesaukee and the mountains, and it's a really great loop. I absolutely love it. If you are visiting my store, this is only 2 miles from Nahamsha Gifts. So if you visit, this is a great hike to do before or after. I love doing this hike before work, after work, on my lunch break, like I'm doing right now. So I bet you'd enjoy this one too. I also want to open this up to you guys watching and have viewer submissions. So please send me an email, nahamshahiker@gmail.com, and send me some pictures of your hikes and maybe a little blurb about it, what the mountain was, what the hike was, how long is it, what's something you love about it, and I would love to feature those in a future episode. So again, nahamshahiker@gmail.com. Let me know what you hiked in the last week. My first viewer submission is from my mom because I don't have any yet because this is a brand new series. My mom's viewer submission is from Weeks Woods in Guilford.
So we are at Weeks Woods in Guilford. It's a nice, easy, definitely beginner hike, dog friendly. And there's different options. You could loop around twice. You could go on an upper loop. but it is definitely my go-to, and I highly recommend it.
And finally, I want to close out these videos with a Q&A segment. So if you have a question, again, you can email it to nahamshahiker@gmail.com and I may answer it in these videos. I went into my YouTube comments to find my first question that I want to answer, and this comes from Joe's Woods. And he said, "Nice background, is that wallpaper?" So right here, this is not wallpaper, this is actually like a vinyl backdrop, I believe, that photographers can use. And I am currently sitting in my gift shop. So I cleared all of my displays and everything from my gift shop away from this wall. And now I have a permanent set where I can sit down and give you these videos every week. So I think it's going to be fun. I could maybe even do interviews here if you guys are interested in that. If anyone wants to be interviewed, come to my shop and we can film a little segment. I'm going to close out this video now. Thank you for tuning in on my first episode of this new weekly series. I'm still going to be putting out my normal vlogs, hiking vlogs, and Appalachian Trail content, so those aren't going anywhere. I'm just doing something new on this channel, and I'm excited to chat all about Nahamsha hiking news. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Any more segment ideas, any segments that you don't like, please, I want this to be kind of like interactive. Ask me questions, give me some feedback, and I'm so excited to see where this goes. All right, I need to stop talking because my throat, my voice is going. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow at the Rescue Me 5K. Let me know if you'll be there, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.